Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto was in a team without Sasuke and Sakura part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. On a peaceful day in Konoha, the sun cast a gentle radiance across the village, accompanied by scattered clouds. A mild breeze rustled through the air, bringing a sense of tranquility to the surroundings. However, amidst this calm ambiance, a group of academy students anxiously gathered, their hearts pounding with anticipation. They eagerly awaited their sensei's announcement, which would determine the composition of their teams. Excitement and nervousness intertwined, creating a palpable atmosphere filled with the hopes and dreams of these young shinobi in training. "I sure hope that Sasuke-kun's on my team," a pink-haired girl said. "Keep dreaming, forehead. He's gonna be on my team," a blonde replied. "Pretty sure Sasuke-kun would want to switch teams the moment he hears your laugh, Eno pig," the pink-haired girl quipped. "What did you say, forehead? I didn't quite catch that because of that big forehead of yours," the blonde retorted. "Why you?" the pink-haired girl said in anger. While the two were about to fight, the other students were immersed in their own world. "Can't wait for my name to be called. Pretty sure you're excited too, right boy?" a kid asked his dog, to which it yipped in joy. "Sai Mendokus, what a drag, I just wanna get this over with and get out of here," a kid with a hairstyle reminiscent of a pineapple whilst the kid beside him was contentedly munching on some chips. On the other hand, a girl in a gray and purple jacket, as well as a kid wearing sunglasses remained silent in their seats, patiently waiting for their sensei. And there, seated at a table with unwavering patience, was a boy who stood out from the crowd with his vibrant attire. Clad in an eye-catching orange jumpsuit, his unruly blonde hair and distinctive whisker-like markings on his cheeks marked him as Uzumaki Naruto, a 13-year-old with a solitary journey through life. Bereft of a family, he found solace in a select few individuals who held a special place in his heart. The Hokage, whom he affectionately referred to as Old Man, stood as a pillar of support. Another figure, Tsuki, the genial proprietor of Ichiraku Ramen, earned Naruto's respect and admiration, and alongside him, Ayame, Tsuki's daughter, offered companionship and warmth. As Naruto eagerly awaited the much-anticipated revelation from his beloved teacher, Iruka Sensei, he maintained his composure. The knowledge of which of his classmates would be his future teammates hung in the balance. In truth, Naruto held no particular preference regarding the composition of his team. His unwavering determination to become the Hokage, a dream he clung to with unwavering resolve, eclipsed any concern about the individuals who would accompany him on his path. Nevertheless, beneath his nonchalant facade, Naruto couldn't help but entertain a few hidden inclinations. The prospect of discovering his teammates held a certain curiosity, a spark of interest within him. Though it mattered little to him in the grand scheme of his ambitions, a flicker of anticipation ignited within Naruto's heart, silently wondering who fate had aligned to join him in his quest for greatness. In Naruto's mind, "Sure hope that I get teamed with Sakura-chan, and I definitely don't want Sasuke-tem to be on my team. Don't know what's his deal with me, it's not like I wrong pissed in his cereal or something, but every time I lock eyes with him, he gives me the stink eye. Plus he has this cocky vibe to him. Talking to yourself again, Naruto, that ain't good for your brain, dude, you're definitely gonna pop a blood vessel or something," Kiba said to him, noticing that he was indeed in deep thought. "Shut up, Kiba. It's not like you're any better than I am when it comes to brains. Whatever, you're lucky I'm in a good mood, so I'll let that one slide. I'm just stoked to find out who's going to be in my team. What about you?" "Me too. One step closer to becoming the Hokage, Fire Shadow, Datbeo," Naruto remarked. "Ha, I'll be the Hokage, Fire Shadow, dude, watch and learn," Kiba said confidently. "Let's see about that then." A hush fell upon the room as the door swung open, announcing the arrival of their sensei. A wave of anticipation washed over the academy students, their chatter tapering off into an expectant silence. All eyes turned towards their revered instructor as he stepped forward, clutching a solitary scroll in his hand. The weight of their hopes and dreams seemed to rest upon that single piece of parchment, which held within its confines the answers they had been yearning for. Iruka Sensei, a figure of authority and guidance, emanated an aura of significance as he made his way to the center of the room. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation, as each student held their breath, their gazes locked on the coveted scroll. The mere sight of it symbolized the culmination of their training, the threshold to a new chapter in their shinobi lives. Good morning, everyone. I am pleased to see each and every one of you for the last time. And I would like to congratulate all of you for making it this far. This marks the very first step in your careers as shinobi, and I wish you all the very best. Let us now begin with the announcement of teams, Iruka announced. Minutes later, as moments slipped away, the atmosphere grew charged with anticipation, signaling the imminent announcement of the last 3 teams. Team 7 would consist of Nara Shikamaru, Uchiha Sasuke and Hyuga Hinata. Your Junin sensei would be Hatake Kakashi. AWWWWW, both Ino and Sakura said in unison for not ending up in the same team as Sasuke. At least you don't get to be on his team, Ino pig. I could say the same to you, forehead. Tension filled the air as the 2 girls locked eyes, their gazes piercing and filled with animosity. A palpable standoff ensued, an unspoken clash of wills. However, their silent duel was abruptly interrupted by the clearing of Iruka's throat, his signal serving as a stern warning to the 2 kunoichis, urging them to restrain their brewing conflict. Anyway, where was I? Oh, Team 8 would consist of Akamichi Choji, Inuzuka Kiba and Haruno Sakura. Your sensei would be Yuhi Kurenai. Lastly, as Team 10 would comprise of Aburame Shino, Yamanaka Ino and Uzumaki Naruto. Sarutobi Asuma would be your Junin sensei. I believe that is all. Please return to the classroom after lunch to meet up with your respective senseis, and by then kindly use the time to get to know your teammates. Once again, congrats to all of you and good luck. Iruka said as he dismissed the class and left the classroom. Other students left as well to group up with their team and grab lunch, all except for Naruto, Shino and Ino. Naruto made his way toward Shino, noticing that his teammate was seated silently at his desk. Hey Shino, now that we're teammates, do you wanna grab lunch and ask Ino to come as well? I'm kind of intimidated by her, you know, Naruto said as he stood before Shino, his gaze inadvertently caught sight of his own reflection within Shino's glasses. I believe that is indeed a wise course of action, Uzumaki-san. Why? Because it is in our best interest to know one another even more if we are to work as one unit, and yes, I get where you are coming from. Yamanaka-san can indeed be a bit intimidating as well, judging from her behavior for quite some time. In response to Naruto's invitation, Shino rose from his seat with a composed demeanor. He joined Naruto and together they made their way towards their remaining teammate, who sat in quiet contemplation at her desk. The duo approached her, ready to initiate a conversation and forge the bonds of their newfound team. Hey Ino, Shino and I are going to grab lunch, would you like to come with us? I mean, Iruka-sensei told us to use this time to get to know each other before returning here after lunch. So, what do you say? Naruto asked. Ino lifted her gaze from her desk, her eyes scanning Naruto and Shino with a discerning scrutiny. Aware of the reality that these 2 would be her teammates moving forward, whether she liked it or not, she assessed them carefully, taking in their presence and potential. In Ino's mind, Shino is quiet, so I suppose that's good, I guess. Though he and I have nothing in common, that's for sure. And his bugs creep me out, UGHHH, Naruto. The guy's no slouch, but he's no Sasuke, plus he's kinda brash and loud too. Well, I'm one to talk about being brash and loud. Fine by me, besides I've got nothing better to do. Where do guys wanna eat then? Ino asked a question, but Shino had no answer. Naruto quickly jumped in with a suggestion, Ichiraku ramen. In Ino's mind, seriously, that ramen stall? Can't they think of something else? Reluctantly, she made a decision and agreed to her teammates' suggestion. Joining Naruto and Shino, she followed them to the Ichiraku ramen stall, albeit with some reservation. After lunch, seriously, what is taking them so long? We're the only teams left here for Kami's sake, Kiba complained. Stop yapping and whining, that won't make them come here any faster. Man, what a drag, Shikamaru replied. As the door slid open, a trio of Junin's high elite ninja emerged, capturing their attention. The first man had long, flowing white hair cascading down his back, partially concealed by a mask that covered the majority of his face. The second man sported black hair, complemented by a distinguished beard. And finally, the woman possessed striking crimson-red eyes, her attire consisting of a unique dress made of intricate wraps. Their presence commanded respect and exuded an air of authority, leaving a lasting impression on the three young shinobi. The arrival of these Junin signaled the beginning of a new chapter in their training and adventures as a team. Sorry for the hold-up, kids, the Hokage just wanted to clear something up before dismissing us. Hope you understand. Regardless, I am Yuhi Kurenai, and I will be the Junin sensei of Team 8. If you belong to that group, please follow me outside, she said in a stern tone. Kiba, Choji, and Sakura, feeling the weight of the moment, stood up from their seats with determination and left the room to follow their sensei. The white-haired man cleared his throat and began to speak. Dumo, I am Hatake Kakashi, and for those who belong to Team 7, I would be your Junin sensei. Just meet me on the rooftop, he said with an eye smile and shunshined body flicker instantly. Hinata, Shikamaru, and Sasuke rose from their seats, their expressions focused and resolute. They made their way towards the stairs, knowing that their sensei awaited them at the top. I guess you three would be my students then. The name's Sarutobi Asuma, and I will be your Junin sensei. I look forward to working with the three of you. Head to the 7th training ground and we'll pick things up from there, he said, and also disappearing in a shunshin body flicker. Whoa, I've got to learn that, it looks so cool, Naruto said enthusiastically. The three of them then quickly headed to said training grounds to meet their sensei. At the training grounds, now that you're all here, I've got to level with you all and you guys might flip out, if you know what I mean. Asuma said, removing the cigarette from his mouth. What do you mean, flip out? Naruto asked quizzically. Of the 27 graduates, only 9 will be chosen as Genin, Low, Junior Ninja, the rest will be sent back to the academy. This is a difficult exam with a failure rate of over 66%. What? 66%? Both blondes said in unison, whereas Shino remained silent, but deep down he was shocked as well at hearing what their sensei just said. But we passed the academy test already. See? Ino said while pointing to her forehead protector. Yeah, I can see that, but that's just how the way things go. Asuma replied. This sucks, I honestly thought there were no more exams from here on out, what a bummer, Naruto stated. I knew Daddy was keeping something from me, and I was right all along, Ino complained. Asuma looked at Ino and remembered something. You're Inoichi's kid, aren't you? He asked. Yeah, why? She replied back. Nothing, just made a guess. Regardless, I get where you are coming from, but your father isn't allowed to tell you that there's another test after the academy exam. Asuma retorted, to which Ino sighed. This is quite a rather shocking revelation. Why? Because the same thing happened to me and my father. Shino stated. In Asuma's mind, this must be Shibi's son, there's no doubt about it. They're practically identical. Well, whatever that test is, bring it on. No test is gonna stop me from being Hokage, Dadbeo. Naruto said proudly. Asuma, observing the unfolding events, couldn't help but be captivated by Naruto's attitude in the face of the potentially disappointing revelation. He felt a sense of admiration for Naruto's resilience and determination, seeing a spark of unwavering spirit within the young shinobi. Asuma recognized the potential for growth and strength in Naruto's unwavering resolve, and he silently commended him for his optimistic outlook in the midst of their situation. In Asuma's mind, I honestly don't know why Dad wanted me to train the Yondaime's kid, but whatever. These three look quite promising and certainly has potential. So, what's this test then? Ino asked. I'll be taking a page from my old man's book. Apparently this test has been done many times in the past and it's called the bell test. Ever heard of it before? Asuma said while digging in his pocket to show two bells. Naruto was about to speak up, but then Asuma continued to speak. Of course not, I'm just telling you about it right now, he joked. It's simple. Just take these bells away from me, it's as simple as that, he said. Asuma sensei, why are there only two bells then? Naruto asked. In Asuma's mind, he noticed that, not bad kid, you're apparently more intelligent than you seem. Good eye kid, the reason why there are only two bells is because the person who fails to get one will be tied up to a training post as punishment, Asuma said. Isn't that a bit harsh, Asuma sensei? Ino inquired. Yeah, that's the point. The shinobi world is a harsh one, so get used to it. Besides, I shouldn't be even telling you stuff about the test, he replied. So, when will we do this bell test? Shino asked. We're not going to do the bell test, Asuma replied as he threw away the bells from the palm of his hand. Ino and Naruto sighed in relief knowing that they won't have to take the bell test. So, wait, does that mean we pass? Ino asked, to which Asuma laughed in response. This left Ino confused due to their sensei's reaction. Far from it, just because you guys won't take this test doesn't mean you won't take a test at all. No, I decided to shake things up a bit, we're going to do it the Asuma way. So, prepare for tomorrow, I suggest eating a light breakfast before going here. Asuma retorted, after which he vanished once more in a shunshin body flicker, thus leaving the three of them alone in the training grounds. I guess we'll see each other tomorrow morning then, Ino said. I suppose so, Shino replied. Relax. We're gonna pass, Dadbeo. Naruto retorted. The next day. So, y'all ready for the test? Asuma said to his three soon-to-be students, if they pass at all. You bet, Naruto declared. That's good enough for me. Before we begin, I'd like to announce that I changed my mind. We'll no longer be doing the bell test. Asuma said, which elicited shocked responses from both Ino and Naruto. What? Both of them said in unison. Calm down. I've decided that instead of taking some bells from me, I want you three to land a hit on me. Just one from any of you and all of you will pass. But, if you guys fail, then I'll be sending your asses back to the academy, pronto. Is that clear? Asuma asked, to which they nodded in agreement. The main caveat is that I haven't told you what makes this test different per se. See this? Asuma said whilst looking at a cigarette. Yeah, a cigarette. What's so special about it? Ino said. This thing right here will serve as your timer, he replied. Timer? Naruto asked. I'll be smoking it whilst fighting the three of you, but once I finish it that means time is up, understood? So how long does it take to smoke one stick then, Asuma sensei? Shino inquired. Good question, let's see, I can actually finish one in under 3 minutes if I wanted to, but since I'm feeling quite generous today, I'll enjoy each puff of it. It takes around 14 puffs to savor each one, which roughly amounts to 6 to 7 minutes give or take, but that won't cut it for you guys to actually pull it off. So, I'll be smoking 8 of these, which would total to 56 minutes. Heck, I'll even round it off to an hour, cause why not? Is this clear with the three of you? He asked once more. Yeah, but isn't that bad for your health, Asuma sensei? Ino asked. Yes, I'm aware, but don't worry about me, I can handle myself when it comes to smoking. I'm pretty sure you guys would want me to smoke more sticks in this scenario. Asuma replied. Enough talking, are you guys ready? Asuma asked. Naruto, Ino and Shino nodded, to which Asuma then lit a stick of cigarette in his mouth, thus starting the test. 50 minutes later, each and every one of them were panting, all except for Asuma, who has barely broken a sweat. Is that all you got? This is going to be the 8th stick, and you guys only have around 10 minutes left to do this or else it's the academy again for the three of you, Asuma said. There's no way I'm going back to academy. Ino yelled. We'll land a hit on you Asuma-sensei, just you wait Dadbao. Naruto declared. Don't just tell me, show me. Make it quick. Unfortunately, I can't wait any longer as you guys only have 9.5 minutes left. So, enough talking and more doing. Asuma taunted, which made both blondes clench their fists. For the past 50 minutes, Shino, Ino, and Naruto had been diligently employing their individual approaches in an attempt to strike their opponent, but to no avail. Their techniques, whether rooted in clan abilities or Naruto's shadow clones, had all fallen short. As time slipped away, the urgency to land a single hit grew more pressing. Realizing the need for a breakthrough, the three teammates took a moment to pause and reflect. It was during this brief intermission that a sudden realization dawned upon Naruto. An idea sparked within him, illuminating a potential strategy that could turn the tide of the battle. Come here guys, we've tried our own techniques to hit him, right? But none of them worked, and Asuma-sensei did say that we'll all pass even if at least one of us lands a hit on him, and we're a team, right? So how about we use our jutsus in conjunction? Naruto suggested, to which Shino nodded in agreement, for he was on board with Naruto's plan. Ino found herself impressed by Naruto's sudden revelation, as she had not expected such a display of cleverness from someone she perceived as a bit of a knucklehead. It was a pleasant surprise that instilled in her a newfound respect for Naruto's abilities. Alright then, do you have a plan or something, Naruto? Curious about Naruto's sudden realization, Ino inquired, her voice laced with intrigue. In response, Naruto placed his finger on his chin, a classic gesture indicating deep contemplation as he delved into his thoughts. Asuma observed the team huddled together, their heads close in conversation, and deduced that they were likely devising a plan of action. He watched them with a keen eye, recognizing the importance of strategy and coordination in any successful mission. Asuma patiently awaited their decision, trusting in their abilities to come up with a plan that would turn the tide in their favor. In Asuma's mind, took them long enough to realize that this is test for teamwork. Undeterred by the team's huddle, Asuma calmly stood his ground, taking a drag from his cigarette. His experienced eyes followed their movements with interest. As the group dispersed, Asuma noticed Naruto swiftly forming the hand seal for the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, shadow clone technique, summoning a multitude of shadow clones. In a mesmerizing display, 20 identical Narutos materialized out of thin air, charging towards Asuma in a coordinated attempt to land a decisive blow. That again? Didn't you try that already? Asuma taunted. So what? I guess I just have to increase the number of clones. Eventually at least one of them will hit you, Dadbao. Naruto replied. As Asuma observed Naruto's immense chakra reserves on full display, a twinge of envy tugged at his thoughts. While Asuma possessed a respectable chakra reserve himself, he couldn't help but appreciate the idea of never having to concern himself with conserving or wasting chakra. The notion of having an abundance of chakra at one's disposal was undeniably appealing and brought a touch of longing to Asuma's mind. Nonetheless, he remained focused and determined, ready to face Naruto's formidable onslaught with his own skill and experience. As Asuma skillfully blocked and countered each clone's attack, he realized Naruto's strategy was not simply to wear him down. The relentless onslaught of clones persisted, even as Asuma landed blows of his own. However, one clone stood out from the rest, dispersing into a cloud of insects that clung onto Asuma's hands. He felt a shiver run down his spine at the sensation of numerous tiny legs crawling on his skin. Haijutsu. Mushi Bunshin no Jutsu, Hidden Jutsu, Insect Clone Technique. To his surprise, the insects swiftly reformed into clones, their purpose being to restrain Asuma. The realization struck him that Naruto's diversionary tactic had allowed Shino to create insect clones disguised as Naruto, further complicating the situation. Asuma attempted to perform the Kawarimi no Jutsu, body replacement technique, to escape the restraints but found his hands immobilized by Shino's insects. Despite the setback, Asuma's determination remained unwavering. He summoned his inner strength to overpower the clones, tossing them aside, and prepared to unleash a powerful fire jutsu to incinerate them. However, before he could complete the jutsu, everything abruptly plunged into darkness, engulfing Asuma in an unknown void. Moments later. Huh? What just happened? Asuma asked, seeing his three students placing each of their fists on his vest, implying that they were able to land a hit on them, not just one but three. Ino used her jutsu to take control over your body. I didn't know her body would just fall limp like that, but luckily I caught her body and held it upright so she can place her hand as well. He, Naruto said confidently. Yeah, well, thanks about that. That's something I don't like about the Haijutsu, Shintenshin no Jutsu, hidden jutsu, mind-body change technique. That being said, you're now in charge of watching over my body when I use it, congrats. Ino teased Naruto, but he didn't mind since he was ecstatic since they all passed. Well, a deal is deal, congratulations to the three of you. From now on we are Team 10 inches, Asuma declared, to which Naruto and Ino pumped their fists in the air and Shino just remained silent. Man, this blows. I honestly thought we're gonna go on some awesome mission and kick ass. But instead, we're stuck here doing odd jobs throughout the village. Naruto complained. Tough luck, Naruto. This is what they gave us, so suck it up and quit yapping about it since it won't do any good for us. Ino retorted, to which Naruto sighed and continued to do his work. After enduring for nearly 30 minutes, Naruto's frustration reached its peak. Feeling exasperated, he abruptly abandoned his previous task and swiftly formed a familiar hand seal. The energy around him shifted, and a sense of anticipation filled the air as his teammates looked on, curious about Naruto's next move. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Technique, Naruto exclaimed, and in that very moment, a dozen copies of Naruto materialized around him. Their presence created an overwhelming sight. Each clone stood ready, awaiting their creator's command. The sudden manifestation of this formidable force left both his teammates momentarily taken aback. Bad idea. I don't assume a sensei would be happy seeing us use jutsus for this mission since he said we can make do without them, Ino replied. Relax, Ino. I mean, Asuma sensei didn't mention that using jutsus wasn't allowed, right? If anything, this is on him. Naruto said with a hint of defiance, causing Ino to pause in her tracks. As she prepared to make a rebuttal, she noticed a glimmer of truth in Naruto's remark. Recognizing that Naruto had a valid point, she decided to refrain from continuing the argument. Instead, she found a comfortable spot against the wall of the warehouse, settling herself down to relax and observe the unfolding events. Shino, sharing a similar sentiment, positioned himself against a nearby fence post, adopting a relaxed stance as he patiently awaited the outcome of their encounter. All right then, you guys know what to do since, well, all of you are me, so get to it. Naruto told to his clones. They responded by saluting at him and quickly getting to work. Naruto took a seat next to Ino, leaning against the wall as they both let out relaxed sighs. Engaged in their assigned chores, they found a momentary reprieve from the busyness of their tasks. Ino's attention turned to Naruto, who had joined her by the wall. She observed him for a moment, noting the ease with which he seemed to embrace the present moment. I wonder what kinds of missions the others are doing right now. I sure do hope they're doing crummy ones like us, haha, Naruto mused. Sasuke-kun's team is probably already out there kicking ass somewhere out there. Ino replied. There you go again with the whole Sasuke-kun shtick. It's always Sasuke-kun this and Sasuke-kun that. It's like he's the only thing in your mind, Ino. Seriously, Naruto groaned. And what's your problem about that, huh? You jealous? Ino raised her eyebrow. What? Me? Jealous? Ha ha ha. Oh please, as if I'm jealous of that jerk. It's just that all your Sasuke talk is getting on my nerves lately. As if you're any better. You keep talking about ramen. You talk about Ichiraku ramen, instant cup ramen, packaged ramen, and Kami knows how many more types of ramen there are in this world. You keep going on and on and on about how delicious it is, it's not even that great. It's just boiled meat broth with salt and some toppings, big deal. Pudding is much better and that is a fact. Ino rebutted. Oh, you take that back, Ino. Ramen is the best food there is and is leagues above your puny pudding. Naruto replied. Is not. As to. Is not. As to. You. Shino. Which is better, ramen or pudding? Naruto faced him. Yeah, Shino, which one? Ino added. I'd rather not get involved in your entire feud for the past few minutes, why? Because I think it is quite pointless, Shino retorted. Despite Shino's input, the two blondes persisted in their heated argument, their voices escalating in intensity. However, before their dispute could escalate further, their bearded sensei materialized in a flash with the use of a shunshin. His sudden arrival cut through the tension like a blade. The trio fell into an immediate silence as all eyes turned towards their sensei. What the heck is going on here with all this ruckus? And why are you three just sitting on your asses? Don't you guys have a job I mean mission to do? Aha. So, it is a job and not a mission. Naruto said. Job, mission, tomato, whatever. But that's not the point. My point is, why are you three not working? Oh, I made clones to do our job for us. Besides, it's tedious, Asuma sensei. Naruto complained, to which Ino agreed as well. Asuma sighed and began rubbing his temples. Look, this is part of being a genin, low, junior ninja, you have to work your way up so that you can be given higher ranked missions. So, you gotta start at these kinds of stuff, got it? 'Cause even I did this shit when I was your age, even the Sandame, Lord Third, did D ranks in the past, ask him. Asuma explained. Exhausted and ready to dismiss his clones, Naruto let out a weary sigh. However, before he could disperse his replicated selves, Asuma's voice cut through the air, urging Naruto to hold off on dispelling them for the time being. Intrigued by his sensei's unexpected request, Naruto hesitated, allowing his clones to remain in existence, their presence lingering in the room as the anticipation grew. You guys can have a break for a while, so don't dispel your clones just yet, Naruto. After all, this is your 4th D rank for today, so I'm gonna leave you guys be for a bit. And please, while I'm away, avoid fighting. You guys should actually be getting along instead of fighting, alright? Asuma said, to which the three of them nodded. Okay, good, I'll be right back, Asuma said and disappeared once more in a shunshin body flicker, thus leaving the three of them alone once again. Hey Ino, sorry about earlier, I might have gotten a bit carried away, Gomen, Naruto apologized. I guess I did go too far as well, sorry Naruto. Are we good? She asked, and in response to her question, Naruto offered Ino a thumbs up and flashed her a mischievous, foxy grin. Caught off guard by his silly expression, a small smile tugged at the corners of Ino's lips. Despite their ongoing banter, Naruto's infectious charm managed to break through her initial resistance, evoking a genuine moment of amusement between them. It was a fleeting exchange, but it revealed a glimmer of camaraderie and a shared understanding beneath their playful facade. I believe your clones are about to be finished, Naruto. I suggest making the most out of this break is a wise decision. We will need all the energy we have in case Asuma sensei gives us another D rank to do, Shino suggested. Naruto and Ino agreed as they relaxed for real this time. At the Hokage Tower, Asuma and his students stood patiently outside the Hokage's office, anticipation bubbling within them. The man himself had requested their presence, prompting them to await his summons. Asuma rapped on the door, the sound echoing in the hallway, before gently pushing it open, revealing an aged figure seated behind a massive desk. The room was adorned with stacks of paperwork, a testament to the countless responsibilities that burdened the elderly Hokage. You wanted to see us, Hokage-sama? Asuma asked. Ah yes, please come in. I gathered all of you here today to transfer a mission to your team. And what does this mission entail? And why our team? Not that I'm complaining, just curious, Asuma asked. It's okay if you don't want to. I can ask another team to. No. Both blondes yelled. Come on, Asuma-sensei. You're seriously blowing this. Naruto complained, to which Asuma sighed and the Hokage chuckled. We don't mind doing it, Hokage-sama. I was just wondering as to why you picked us, Asuma asked. Well, your team did a remarkable job of doing a handful of D ranks in one day, and I believe your team deserves to do the very first C rank mission out of all the Genin low junior ninja teams this year. Not unless your students aren't up for the task. Hiruzen wondered. Yeah, maybe they aren't ready yet, Hokage-sama. Asuma added. What? No, we're very ready, Hokage Gigi. This mission's gonna be a piece of cake, Dadbao. Right guys? Overwhelmed by the situation, Naruto's panic took hold as he blurted out his question. Ino, mirroring his energy, voiced her agreement, her words brimming with urgency. Meanwhile, Shino, his usual composed self, simply nodded in silent agreement, embodying his characteristic stoicism. Each of them, in their own unique way, expressed their concern and readiness to face whatever awaited them. A gentle chuckle escaped Hiruzen as he observed Naruto's reaction, witnessing the young shinobi's dismay at having his very first C-rank mission taken away. The Hokage's weathered face softened, displaying a mix of amusement and understanding as he recognized the significance of this moment for Naruto. It was a light-hearted moment, a brief respite from the weight of their responsibilities, reminding them all that even the smallest setbacks could be met with laughter. Seems like they are indeed ready. Here is your mission scroll. That is all of you are dismissed. Hiruzen's voice carried a paternal warmth as he addressed his subordinates. They instinctively bowed in respect, expressing their gratitude to him. And with sincere appreciation in their hearts, they bid farewell to the Hokage and departed from his office, their minds filled with a renewed sense of purpose. A weary sigh escaped Hiruzen's lips. Looks like it's just you and me again, he said as his gaze fixed upon the mountain of paperwork that loomed before him. The burden of his position as Hokage weighed heavily upon his shoulders, a never-ending cycle of administrative duties and responsibilities. Outside by the Hokage Tower. So, what's our mission then, Asuma-sensei? Is it going to be a rescue mission? Oh, maybe we're going to kick some enemy shinobi's ass, Naruto said enthusiastically. Relax, Naruto, I am getting to it, Asuma replied as he opened the scroll and carefully read the contents. After a few minutes of waiting, Naruto couldn't wait to know what their C-rank mission would be. Oh, you're going to love this, Asuma said in a cheeky tone. Yahoo! We're going on an awesome mission, Dadbao. Konoha's Gate. This stinks. I thought we're going on some action-filled mission. But no, we're just gonna deliver some stupid message, Naruto stated. You think that sucks? What I hate is how long Asuma-sensei is taking to prepare. How long does it take for someone to pack their things? Ino complained. I believe it is best not to dwell on things that we don't like and focus on the mission ahead of us, Shino added. Both blondes sighed in resignation, deciding to release their frustrations and not dwell on the matter any longer. Shino had a point. There was no use in whining about things they couldn't change. They chose to embrace the present and face their upcoming challenges with a fresh perspective. Shortly after, a pair of Konoha shinobi returned to their post at the village gate, their duty calling them back. One of the guards, noticing their purposeful demeanor, inquired, heading out on a mission, he asked. You bet, Dadbao, Naruto replied. What's the mission? The guard's curiosity piqued, he directed his question to Naruto, who responded with a nod. It kinda sucks, but we've been assigned to deliver a message to some Kusa, hidden grass, shinobi at the border of Hai no Kuni, land of fire. Naruto replied, his voice filled with a sense of duty. I see. Well, where is your Junin sensei then? Said the man who's wearing a bandana with a metal plate sewn onto it with Konoha's symbol engraved on it. He'll be here, I hope, Naruto replied. Why, is your Junin sensei Kakashi? If so, he might take a while, the man said. Nah, it's Asuma sensei. Ah, I see. He's a great shinobi if you ask me, just be careful not to pick up his habit of smoking, that'll kill you one day though. He won't listen to us. I already told him that earlier, and so did Kurenai-sensei. Ino added. Well, he's probably addicted to smoking. Can't be helped though. It's quite understandable for shinobi to develop their own coping mechanisms to deal with stress. I mean, even the Hokage, Fire Shadow, smokes himself. He said to the three kids. How do you know Asuma-sensei smokes though? Sorry, I don't know your names. Naruto apologized. The man waved it off and introduced himself. The name's Kamizuki Izumo, and the guy beside me is Hagane Katetsu. Yo, said Katetsu. I assume both of you are Junin high elite ninja, judging from the fact that you guys wear flak jackets much like Asuma-sensei, Shino interjected, offering his input, only to be promptly corrected by the duo. We wish, but nah. We're both Chunin middle journeyman ninja. Though I get where you're coming from, but both Chunin middle journeyman ninja and Junin high elite ninja wear flak jackets, so there's that. Katetsu explained. I see, I was mistaken. Shino replied. Is this your first mission out of the village? Azumo inquired, and Ino nodded in agreement. I see. You guys nervous? He asked. A bit, kinda. Not at all. Shino, Ino and Naruto said respectively in unison. Well, as your senior, my advice is just to take it easy and pay attention to everything and you'll do just fine, Azumo said. Oh, and remember to not pick up Asuma's habit of smoking. After all, some genin low junior ninja take after their sensei due to prolonged exposure, Azumo replied. Shortly after Azumo's statement, the mentioned man arrived on the scene, cigarette dangling from his lips, adding an ironic touch to the situation. Speak of the devil, Katetsu chuckled. The duo nodded in acknowledgement of Asuma's presence. Asuma did so as well. You runts ready? He asked. All three of them nodded. Add the fact that Naruto exclaimed at the top of his lungs, let's get this show on the road, Datbeo. Outside Konoha, near the border, Team 10 leisurely made their way towards the western border of Hi-no-Kuni, Land of Fire, taking nearly a day to reach their destination. Despite their relaxed pace, they managed to maintain a decent speed, ensuring they wouldn't keep the Kusa, hidden grass, shinobi waiting for long. As they arrived at the designated meeting spot, Shino, Ino, and Naruto patiently awaited Asuma's arrival. It seemed that the Kusa, hidden grass, shinobi had requested a discussion with their sensei before their departure, prompting the brief wait. Honestly, I expected more from this mission. Naruto said. Like what? Ino asked. You know, some action. Naruto replied. Ino's intense gaze bore into Naruto, leaving him feeling a bit perplexed and prompting him to contemplate the reason behind her reaction. Shino chimed in, cautioning Naruto against recklessly seeking danger. Seeking danger is not a wise thing to do, Naruto. Why? Because the possibility of perishing is still there. I am certain none of us would like that to ever happen, he emphasized. Naruto defended his words with a hint of stubbornness in his voice. I was just saying, he retorted, not one to back down easily. Ino, feeling the weariness of their travels, eagerly expressed her longing for a refreshing shower. I can't wait to get back to Konoha, Hidden Leaf. I feel sticky and musty, she admitted, her tone hinting at her discomfort. Naruto, genuinely curious, questioned why toiletries weren't considered essential for ninjas. Isn't hygiene important too? He pondered aloud, his curiosity shining through. Ino shrugged, not having a definite answer. Who knows? If I were Hokage, I'd make sure things change, she declared, her determination seeping into her words. Naruto's face lit up with excitement. Leave it to me when I become Hokage, Datbeo. He exclaimed, his trademark grin widening. Ino chuckled at his enthusiasm, teasingly reminding him to take it easy. One step at a time, Buster. In the off chance you do become Hokage, I'm counting on that, Naruto. Though I do think Sasuke will become the Hokage first, Ino fantasized, thus adding fuel to Naruto's competitive spirit. Shino, always composed and logical, chimed in with his own insight. Toiletry isn't considered essential because missions often take priority over personal hygiene, he explained calmly. Ninjas rarely have the luxury of time for such things. Their conversation flowed as they waited for their sensei's return, their light-hearted banter keeping their spirits high. After a brief wait, Asuma finally returned, clutching a new scroll in his hands. Ino's impatience got the better of her as she questioned him. What took you so long, Asuma-sensei? Sorry for the hold-up, Asuma replied calmly. Curiosity sparked within Naruto, and he couldn't resist asking for details. What took you so long? He inquired eagerly. Asuma took a moment to gather his thoughts before responding. Apparently, there seems to be synchronized movement along the border of Hai no Kuni, Land of Fire, he explained. Some people say there's an organization of thugs and bandits that's causing trouble. The Hokage wants to confirm this information with the other villages, since it'll affect him too. The young shinobi absorbed the gravity of the situation, comprehending the potential consequences. Naruto, surprising his team, ventured a guess. So, Hokage Gigi will send teams to investigate further, right? Asuma was taken aback by Naruto's insight. The boy's perceptiveness exceeded his initial expectations. In Asuma's mind, not bad, kid. Nevertheless, he pushed aside his surprise, recognizing that his students often held hidden depths. Well, now that our job here is complete, time to head back home, Asuma declared, breaking the momentary silence. The group gathered their belongings and began their journey back to Konoha, Hidden Leaf, determined to report their findings and await further instructions. Konoha's gate. The team arrived back at the village gate, where they were greeted by the familiar duo they had encountered before. Yo, how'd the mission go? Azumo asked, his curiosity evident. Naruto shrugged and responded, it's alright, but kinda boring too. Azumo raised an eyebrow, intrigued by Naruto's comment. Oh, how so? He inquired. Naruto explained that he had anticipated more action and excitement, hoping for some thrilling battles. This elicited laughter from Azumo and Kotetsu, who understood the sentiment. Kotetsu chimed in, adding, you'll get your fair share of battles soon enough. And soon, you'll be wishing for missions as laid back as this one. Asuma gathered the attention of his team, commending their efforts. Great job, kids. Congratulations on completing your first C-rank mission as shinobi, he praised. He then informed them of their upcoming training session at the training grounds, asking if they had any questions or concerns. With no hands raised or voices heard, Asuma concluded, none. In that case, dismissed, the team nodded in acknowledgement as Asuma swiftly disappeared using Shunshin, leaving them behind. Naruto couldn't help but daydream about Asuma's disappearing act. Damn, I wish I could do that too. I would look so cool. He fantasized. Ino, ever practical, suggested, then ask Asuma-sensei to teach you that, Naruto. Naruto smirked at her suggestion. I doubt he'll teach me that jutsu easily. But hey, I have an even better jutsu than that. He boasted. Intrigued, Ino asked, oh, really? You mean your crummy Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, shadow clone technique? Ino couldn't help but tease him. My Shintenshin no Jutsu, mind-body change technique, is much cooler, she asserted. This ignited a spirited argument between the two blondes, each defending their own jutsu's superiority. What? My clones are much cooler than your mind jutsu whatchamacallit? Naruto said with confidence. It's not. It is. It's not. It is. It's not. Meanwhile, Shino observed the exchange quietly, keeping to himself. Azumo approached him sympathetically. I'm sorry you have to put up with them, he empathized. Shino responded calmly, I'm getting used to it. Kotetsu chuckled and reassured Shino, don't worry, they'll grow on you. Alright, let's take a break for now, Asuma declared, addressing his panting students, all except Naruto, who seemed to be unaffected by the rigorous training session. Team 10 had been pushing themselves for hours, striving to enhance their synergy as a team. It was evident that Shino and Ino were exhausted, their bodies showing signs of weariness from the extended training. Gasping for breath, Ino couldn't help but express her bewilderment. How the heck are you not exhausted, Naruto? she managed to ask, her voice strained. Naruto grinned, his energy seemingly boundless. I honestly don't know, he replied, his eyes shining with enthusiasm. From the looks of it, I think I can keep going, Dadbao. Asuma found amusement in Naruto's unwavering stamina, holding a secret knowledge that Naruto himself was oblivious to. In Asuma's mind, if only you knew, kid. Seizing the opportunity to provide feedback, Asuma called his students' attention. Okay, runts, listen up. He commanded, his voice firm yet encouraging. Here are some notes I have regarding each and every one of you, so pay attention. He turned his focus to Shino, addressing his unique strengths. Shino, work on your positioning, Asuma advised. Your arsenal of jutsus is good for mid to long range attacks. Keep your distance from your enemy and use your abilities to set the pace of the fight for yourself as well as your teammates. Next, he shifted his attention to Ino, recognizing her potential for growth. Ino, work on your speed and accuracy of your Shintention no Jutsu, mind-body change technique, he instructed. We don't want you to miss your jutsu because you'd be a sitting duck in the middle of a fight. Additionally, improve your speed. Naruto and Shino can only do so much against your enemies. Take every opportunity that your teammates make. Finally, Asuma turned his gaze to Naruto, emphasizing the need for refinement in his approach. And lastly, Naruto, he began, his tone serious. Work on hiding your intentions, kid. Your moves are too straightforward and predictable, they're just too telegraphed. Someone with a functioning brain can easily predict your next move and turn it against you. Also, be mindful of the beatings you take. I get, you're tough, but it's not an excuse to be careless and let the enemy kick your teeth in. Your jutsu's good for diversionary tactics, and you seem to have some skill in that area. So, focus on improving that ability. Asuma concluded his feedback, offering a final assessment. That's pretty much all I have to say for now, he stated, his words carrying a blend of expectations and encouragement. Shino and Ino nodded, understanding their sensei's feedback and determined to improve their performance in the future. They recognized their respective roles within the team and the importance of refining their skills and coordination. Naruto, as the frontline fighter, would hold down enemies for Ino to utilize her clan techniques to finish them off. Shino, similarly, played a supportive and offensive role, with the ability to deal damage when necessary. Additionally, he served as the team's sensor, using his insects to detect hidden enemies. Naruto, ever eager to learn, expressed his frustration at being unable to land a grip on Asuma during their training sessions. Asuma chuckled and explained, I prefer close to mid-ranged combat since I enjoy using my trench knives. But sadly, I don't have much expertise in grappling. My style involves slicing the shit out of enemies, not beating them to a pulp. But, if I come up with something that can help you, I'll be sure to let you know, kid. Also, remind me to train you in using weapons. It's always good to have some versatility in combat, unless you want to be like Guy and his mini-me. Naruto was satisfied with Asuma's response, giving him a thumbs up. The team had done extensive training that day, starting early in the morning and finishing just past lunch. Though it initially frustrated the two blondes, they understood the necessity of the training and pushed through. Shino, as usual, remained silent, his thoughts undisclosed. Asuma addressed Ino and Shino, acknowledging that there wasn't much more he could teach them regarding their specific situations. He advised them to seek guidance from their clan members, who would have valuable insights to offer. With that, he declared them dismissed and headed off in a different direction, taking out a cigarette as he walked. Before Asuma was out of earshot, Ino couldn't resist a playful jab. Say hello to Kurenai-sensei for us. She shouted. A flustered Asuma responded that he didn't know what she was talking about, eliciting a laugh from Naruto while Shino remained silent, unfazed by the exchange. As Asuma waved goodbye and disappeared from their sight, the three teammates remained standing in the middle of the training grounds. Shino calmly announced his departure. Since our training for the day is complete, I will be heading back home. See you tomorrow. They exchanged brief farewells, and Shino went his way while Ino and Naruto prepared to leave as well, reflecting on their progress and looking forward to the next day's training session. As their bespectacled teammate departed, Ino and Naruto stood alone, their blonde hair catching the soft rays of the setting sun. A compliment unexpectedly escaped Ino's lips, leaving Naruto momentarily taken aback. It was a rare occurrence for him to receive praise, let alone be called smart. Huh? Naruto's voice held a hint of confusion, his brows furrowing as he struggled to comprehend her words. Ino rolled her eyes, a gesture that spoke volumes about Naruto's occasional slowness. I'm talking about what you did earlier, Naruto, she clarified, her tone tinged with a touch of exasperation. You created a clone to protect my body when I missed my jutsu. Thanks. Naruto's face brightened, a mischievous foxy grin spreading across his features. Ah, it's not a big deal, Dadbeo. He exclaimed, trying to downplay his actions. Ino's eyes narrowed playfully, her words carrying a warning wrapped in teasing. Just remember, Naruto, if you ever have any inappropriate thoughts while holding my body, I swear to Kami, I will break your mind. Got it? What? I'm not a pervert. Naruto protested, his voice laced with defensiveness. Alright, I believe you, Ino conceded, her voice softer now. I was just reminding you. Naruto grumbled to himself, feeling slightly indignant about the accusation. Alright, you're kinda bossy, you know that. Maybe that's why Sasuke Tem doesn't notice you at all, he retorted, unable to resist teasing her. In an instant, Ino's tone turned fierce, her anger simmering just below the surface. What did you say? She snapped, her voice filled with indignation. Naruto quickly interjected, assuring her it was a harmless comment to avoid any physical retribution. It was nothing. Don't worry about it, Naruto hastily replied, hoping to quell her anger. Besides, I'm not bossy. I'm just confident, that's all. Ino asserted, her voice a mix of determination and self-assurance. Yeah, whatever floats your boat, Ino. Naruto retorted, his tone implying a playful jab. And for the record, Sasuke-kun would definitely choose me over forehead. Ino declared, a hint of rivalry creeping into her voice. Naruto couldn't help but cringe at Ino's words, immediately regretting the reaction that escaped him. Sensing his discomfort, Ino took offense, her expression turning defensive. What? You don't think I'm pretty? She exclaimed, her voice carrying a tinge of hurt. Huh, it's not that, Naruto hurriedly replied, his voice tinged with a mix of embarrassment and reassurance. I cringed when you mentioned winning Sasuke's affections for the bajillionth time. That bastard has the same amount of personality and emotion as a brick wall. And for the record, I think you're kinda pretty, so calm down, geez, he responded. Ino felt a slight warmth creep up her cheeks as she processed Naruto's candid compliment. In Ino's mind, he thinks I'm pretty, huh? Well, he could have dropped the kinda part, but whatever. She mused inwardly, a fleeting desire crossing her mind for Naruto to drop the qualifier and for Sasuke to utter those words instead. However, she quickly dismissed the thought, pushing it aside as she focused on the present. So, what are you up to, Naruto? Ino inquired, her voice carrying a hint of curiosity. Naruto's stomach growled audibly, prompting a sheepish grin to spread across his face. I'll be having a late lunch, I'm freaking starving. He confessed. Ino couldn't help but chuckle at his hunger-induced eagerness. Sensing an opportunity, she asked where he planned to eat, already anticipating his predictable response. Ichiraku ramen, Dadbeo. Why? Wanna come along? Naruto asked, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. Ino arched an eyebrow, feigning disapproval. Don't you ever get tired of eating ramen? You do know that too much of something is bad, right? It's called moderation, Naruto, she retorted, a playful admonishment in her tone. Nah, besides, ramen is the best. It's practically the food of the gods. And that's rich coming from you, Ino. Isn't excessive shopping also bad? Naruto jabbed back, a mischievous glint in his eyes. In response, Ino simply rolled her eyes, a gesture that conveyed her exasperation. Whatever, she replied, flicking her hair dismissively. So, are you coming or not? Naruto pressed, his excitement palpable. Ino sighed, realizing that convincing someone as stubborn as Naruto to choose an alternative was an exercise in futility. Besides, it was Naruto and ramen they were talking about, two inseparable entities. Fine. I'm only coming because I don't feel like eating alone today. Plus, I'm already starving too, Ino relented, her words laced with a mix of resignation and hunger. Naruto's face lit up with delight as the two blondes set off towards Ichiraku Ramen, engaging in light-hearted conversation along the way, discussing trivial topics that eased their minds and grumbling stomachs. At Ichiraku Ramen, Naruto let out a satisfied sigh as he finished his fifth bowl of ramen, his hunger finally satiated. Ino, on the other hand, had barely made a dent in her own bowl and watched Naruto with a mix of disbelief and amusement. There's seriously something wrong with you when it comes to ramen, Ino remarked, her gaze fixed on her fellow blonde. I could say the same about you and shopping, Naruto retorted, a playful grin forming on his lips. Why you? Ino exclaimed, her fist winding back, ready to deliver a playful blow to Naruto's head. However, before her fist could connect, their attention was drawn to someone approaching their table. Naruto. Ino Pig. A girl with vibrant pink hair called out. The two blondes turned to face Sakura, who wore a puzzled expression upon seeing them together. Sakura-chan, forehead. Naruto and Ino greeted her in unison, their voices filled with surprise. Since when did the two of you hang out? Don't tell me you two are dating. Sakura asked, her curiosity evident. Huh, what? Naruto and Ino exclaimed simultaneously, their faces displaying a mix of shock and disbelief. Me? Dating Naruto? Are you insane? Ino responded, her voice tinged with incredulity. Hey, Naruto protested, feeling slightly offended. Oops. Sorry, Naruto. Ino quickly apologized, realizing she had unintentionally hurt his feelings. Deciding to brush it off, Naruto put on a casual front, concealing any lingering hurt. What brings you here, forehead? Ino inquired, diverting the conversation. Sakura explained that she had been searching for their sensei, Kurenai, hoping to learn a thing or two about genjutsu. However, Kurenai seemed to be nowhere to be found. Why don't you ask Kakashi-sensei? I'm pretty sure he knows a thing or two about genjutsu, Ino suggested, her tone helpful. Sakura sighed in response. Kakashi-sensei is on a mission and won't be back for a few days. I'll have to figure it out on my own for now, she replied, a hint of frustration lacing her words. Well, I think Kurenai-sensei is with Asuma-sensei, though I don't know where he is since he wouldn't tell me. Ino pouted, recalling the instances she had seen the two senseis together. That reminds me, I've seen them together too, but I don't know the reason behind it. Sakura added, her voice filled with curiosity. Ino couldn't help but smirk, sensing she might hold the answer to Sakura's observation. Speaking of dating, I'd bet that Asuma-sensei and Kurenai-sensei are dating, but that's just a hunch. So take it with a grain of salt, Ino commented, her words dripping with mischief. After bidding farewell to Sakura, who had errands to run, Ino glanced at Naruto, surprised to find him still sitting silently beside her. She had assumed he would have left, thinking he had no interest in their conversation. Little did she know that Naruto had been listening attentively the whole time. He simply struggled to find the right moment to interject or determine whether he should join the conversation at all. The sight of Naruto behaving himself was rather amusing to Ino, considering his usual jumpy and energetic nature. In Ino's mind, would you look at that? He's just sitting there, all well behaved. You finished, Naruto? She asked, giving him a gentle nudge on the back to get his attention. Huh, oh, sure, Naruto replied, his focus shifting back to the present. Before they departed, however, Naruto reached into his wallet, which bore a striking resemblance to a frog or perhaps a toad. The wallet appeared ready to burst at the seams due to the substantial amount of money it held. Ino's eyes widened in astonishment as she realized that Naruto was surprisingly well off. It seemed that their missions, coupled with his frugal nature, had contributed to his financial prosperity. She couldn't help but envision the several lovely dresses she could purchase with that kind of money. Didn't know you were loaded, Naruto. You have enough money for a decent shopping spree. Ino remarked, a tinge of envy in her voice. He. Well, I've been saving most of the money I earn from our missions. Plus, I don't splurge much. I mainly spend some to restock my supply of cup ramen at home and for the occasional treat, here. Naruto explained, as he handed the exact amount of money to the daughter of the ramen shop owner, displaying his frugality and precision. Ino patted her pocket absent-mindedly, only to realize with a sinking feeling that she had left her wallet at home. Exhausted from their earlier training session, she had forgotten to bring any money with her. Crap, I forgot my wallet. Could you wait here while I go GE? Ino's sentence was cut short as Naruto handed more money to the shopkeeper to pay for her meal as well. Ino's cheeks flushed with a hint of embarrassment, touched by Naruto's gesture of paying for her without her even asking. She found it rather sweet, but decided to set that thought aside for the time being. Thanks for the meal, Ayame Nichan. I'll be back another time. Tuki Gigi, be sure to save me some miso char shao for the next time I come back. Naruto called out, his gratitude ringing through the ramen shop. Tuki, the owner of Ichiraku Ramen, smiled warmly at his favorite customer, assuring him that he would remember his request. Come again next time, Naruto-kun. And bring your girlfriend along too. Ayame, Tuki's daughter, chimed in mischievously. The unexpected remark flustered both blondes, causing Ayame to burst into laughter as she waved her hand, assuring them that she was just teasing. With that, the two blondes bid their farewells and set off in another direction. As they walked, Ino couldn't help but reflect on the interactions they had just experienced. Naruto's kindness and Ayame's playful comment had stirred something within her, igniting a mix of curiosity and uncertainty. However, she pushed those thoughts to the back of her mind, not yet ready to delve into the complexities of her feelings. For now, they were just two teammates and friends, strolling through the bustling streets, their destination unknown but their bond growing stronger with each passing moment. At Yamanaka Flowers, a few days had passed, and finally, Naruto had a day off, or so he thought. To his surprise, he found himself wearing an apron, a pair of gloves, and holding a trowel in his hand. Ino had dragged him along to help her at her family's flower shop, and despite his protests, Naruto had succumbed to Ino's bossy nature, finding himself in his current predicament. I was hoping to have some solo training today. Not this, Naruto complained, voicing his frustration. Oh, shush, don't be such a big baby and help me with those, Ino retorted, pointing towards bags of dirt and fertilizer stacked at the front of the shop. Naruto let out a sigh and reluctantly set down the trowel, making his way towards the bags. These bags are damn heavy, Ino. It's going to take a while to move them all, he exclaimed, realizing he had no idea where to move them. Where do you want these? He asked sheepishly. Back over there, in the corner of the greenhouse. They just arrived yesterday, so be careful, Ino reminded him. Yeah, I'm not that clumsy, Ino. It's like you don't trust me, Naruto grumbled, but then the moment he took one step, he almost slipped, though he was able to regain his balance. I got it, Naruto said, whereas Ino simply sighed. Ino heard his comment and placed her hands on her hips, raising an eyebrow. What? I didn't drop it, and, if I can guard your body like my life depended on it, I can do the same with these damn bags. Naruto retorted, his frustration showing. Fine, whatever. Now get to it. Less talking and more working, Ino commanded. Naruto glanced at the piles of bags in front of him and scratched the back of his head, contemplating how to get through this task quickly. It wasn't that he lacked the strength to handle it, he simply wanted to finish as soon as possible, hoping to squeeze in some training time later. Suddenly, an idea struck him. But before he put it into action, he asked Ino if it was okay to use ninjutsu. Ino replied that she didn't mind. With her approval, Naruto performed the hand seals for the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, shadow clone technique, and in a puff of smoke, 4 additional copies of him materialized. As Naruto's clones efficiently moved the bags of dirt to the back of the greenhouse, Ino watched in awe, impressed by how quickly he was finishing the task. It was undeniably convenient to have clones that knew what to do without needing any instructions. You know, you could work here too and earn some money on the side. Also, it would help you learn about plants. I came to your apartment yesterday and saw your plant, you're killing it. Ino commented. Oi, I water my plants every day. Naruto argued. Maybe you're watering them too much, you dummy. Ino replied with a smirk. Oh, I didn't know I've been watering them too much, oops. Naruto admitted, conceding Ino's point. You're allowed to hire me just like that. Pretty sure your parents should be the ones deciding, also I think you just want me to work here to lessen your work. Naruto speculated. Hey, that's not true. Ino claimed, though she couldn't help but think that it was partially true. Then I'll just ask them if it's alright. It's as simple as that. To their surprise, someone responded to their conversation. I don't mind Naruto-kun working here, dear, Ino's mother said, appearing in the flower shop. Naruto was taken aback, realizing that Ino's mother didn't have blonde hair like her daughter. Instead, she had brown hair and brown eyes, and she exuded an elegant charm with her fashionable dress. Naruto realized that Ino must have inherited her obsession with clothing articles from her stylish mother. Mom, are you done with your errands? Ino asked. Yes, dear. How's business doing? Her mother inquired. It's fine, Mom. Though it's a bit slow, I'm pretty sure we'll be extremely busy soon due to that time of year again, Ino explained. Naruto, feeling a bit lost, asked what was going to happen soon, showing his curiosity. It's almost spring, duh. Ino replied with a hint of exasperation. Oh, I see. That makes sense, Naruto responded, still not fully understanding why spring was such a big deal. Gosh, I do wish Sasuke-kun would give me flowers when spring comes. Ino fantasized, causing Naruto to cringe as usual. There you go again, sweetheart. Always swooning over that Uchiha, Ino's mom teased. Mom, Ino protested. I'm just teasing, dear, her mom reassured her. Ino let out a sigh, knowing her mother was just joking. Anyway, see, I told you my parents wouldn't mind you working here, Ino said triumphantly. I'll think about it, though. Thanks for the offer, Yamanaka-san, Naruto replied, impressing Ino once again with his politeness. It was quite a sight to see the usually brash and loud Naruto being so courteous. No worries, dear. And please, call me Nariko, Ino's mother insisted. Sure thing, Nariko-san. Naruto grinned mischievously before returning to work alongside Ino and her mother. They continued their tasks, with Naruto occasionally engaging in friendly banter and jokes with Ino and her mom. The atmosphere in the flower shop became livelier with Naruto's presence, and even though he was still considering Ino's job offer, he couldn't deny that working there could be an interesting experience. A group of 3 Konoha ninjas were jumping from tree branch to tree branch alongside the border of Hai no Kuni, Land of Fire, as they were tasked to patrol the area and check for any suspicious activities. It was a relatively uneventful day on the job, prompting the 3 men to engage in casual conversation to pass the time. That's pretty much what happened, Tadao-san, one of the men said to his comrade. Look, man, I've been there. But you really have to stand up to your girl sometimes, my guy. If I were you, I'd defend myself in that situation. I don't know about you, but to me, seems like your girl is fucking bossy, Kazuhiko-san, he replied, while their other companion made a whip sound, laughing loudly. Screw you. I'm not whipped, you bastard. At least I have a girlfriend. What about you, Makoto-san, huh? Kazuhiko retorted. Makoto seemed unfazed by the jab at his single status and continued to tease Kazuhiko about his predicament. You're whipped. Just admit it, man. This is why I don't date civilians. Too clingy for my taste, he said. Why aren't you dating any kunoichis in our village, then, Makoto-san? Tadao asked. Oh, you see, I have no problem with the idea of dating a fellow shinobi, so long as we don't work in the same department, you know. I'm worried about the awkwardness in the workplace if we were to break up. Also, I find them intimidating at times, Makoto admitted, causing the other two to burst into laughter. One of them even make chicken noises to mock him. As the three continued their patrol, they suddenly heard rustling noises in the distance. Tadao, their leader, signaled for them to be discreet and follow his lead since investigating unusual occurrences was part of their job. The trio silently dropped down from the trees and formed a triangle formation to watch each other's backs. While Tadao inspected an odd footprint he had discovered, the other two resumed their conversation from earlier. Are you scared of Machiko-san from the cryptoanalysis department? Kazuhiko asked. I don't know. She doesn't scare me, that's for sure. Although, I don't think we have much in common, so it probably wouldn't work anyway. Makoto replied. Well, I've got nothing else. Those are all the kunoichis I know. Maybe you're just screwed and you're gonna end up alone for the rest of your life. Kazuhiko teased, prompting Makoto to flip him off with his middle finger. Fuck you, Makoto replied. Why? Because she won't. Kazuhiko responded. Damn, Kazuhiko's not messing around, that's for sure. Anyway, you guys wait here. I'll check on one of the traps we set up nearby. Tadao added. Kazuhiko laughed at his friend's response and told him to be quick. Moments later, Tadao hasn't returned and the two of them were beginning to be worried. They tried calling out his name, but their leader had fallen silent and didn't respond at all. What the fuck? What's taking him so long? Kazuhiko asked. Makoto shrugged, speculating that Tadao must be somewhere nearby and couldn't have gone too far. Kazuhiko decided to look for their missing leader while they waited. Minutes passed, and neither of his teammates returned. Anxiety began to creep up on Kazuhiko as he worried about their whereabouts. He started to overthink the possibilities of what might have happened. In Makoto's mind, man, this freaking sucks. I swear this happened in one of those horror stories I've been reading. Where the hell are those two? They better not be playing a prank on me. If they are, I swear I'll fucking deck them so hard they're gonna. He couldn't finish his sentence when suddenly he heard a cry of pain coming from a distance. With the unmistakable voice of Kazuhiko echoing through the air, Makoto's senses heightened, propelling him towards the origin of the sound with a sense of urgency. He channeled his chakra into his legs, allowing his body to surge forward with remarkable speed. Racing through the terrain, Makoto's eyes caught sight of a kunai, its surface stained with crimson, lying on the forest floor. It held a significant meaning to him, for it was Kazuhiko's cherished weapon, distinguished by a unique feature, the presence of a ring situated between the blade and the handle, unlike the conventional kunais with the ring positioned at the end. Drawn towards it, he approached cautiously, his footsteps muffled by the whispering foliage. As he neared the fallen kunai, a sudden rustling from the nearby bushes startled him. Instinctively, Makoto flung a barrage of shurikens towards the disturbance, only to be greeted by the sight of a harmless rabbit emerging from the verdant undergrowth. Exhaling a relieved breath, he let his tense muscles relax, grateful that his wild imagination hadn't conjured a more sinister threat. Yet, even as he dismissed the false alarm, his worry for his missing comrades pressed upon his mind, casting a shadow over his thoughts. Lost in contemplation, the forest's mood turned somber, the gentle drizzle of raindrops commencing their descent from the heavens above. Makoto raised his gaze, his eyes meeting the cloudy expanse, gauging the approaching darkness. Where in the world could they be? He murmured aloud, the words escaping his lips in a mix of frustration and concern. Resuming his journey, his steps accompanied by the pitter-patter of the rain, a small inconvenience revealed itself, a tiny pebble lodged irritatingly within his sandal. Deciding to rid himself of the vexation, Makoto gracefully lowered himself onto one knee, his nimble fingers deftly removing the intruding rock from his footwear. Once the matter was resolved, he carefully adjusted his shinobi sandals, ensuring their proper fit. However, as he rose to his feet, a peculiar occurrence caught his attention, an object descending from the sky, catching the glimmer of sunlight amidst the rain. Drawing closer, Makoto's eyes widened with dread as he identified the source, a steady drip of blood, falling from a considerable height above. Lifting his gaze towards the ominous spectacle, Makoto's heart skipped a beat, his breath catching in his throat. He beheld a grotesque creature, its maw oozing crimson, a foreboding sight that sent a shiver down his spine. Before he could react, the creature launched itself at him with unparalleled speed, its claws slashing through the air. In that chilling moment, Makoto vanished from sight, leaving behind an unanswered question in the depths of the forest, forever obscured, forever lost. In Konoha, Naruto's casual remark permeated the air, breaking the silence that enveloped his teammates who eagerly awaited the arrival of their sensei. Ino, raising an eyebrow inquisitively, couldn't help but ask, "What's on your mind, Naruto?" With a mischievous glimmer in his eyes, Naruto replied, "I've been thinking. If you use a straw to consume soup, are you eating it or drinking it?" Ino's deadpan stare met Naruto's absurd question, while Shino maintained his usual enigmatic silence. "Huh, obviously, you're still eating it, duh," Ino retorted. "Soup is a food, so you're eating it. And besides, why on earth would you use a straw to begin with, Naruto?" Naruto shrugged, his curiosity undeterred. "I was just wondering, geez. I mean, sure, using a spoon is the conventional way, but think about it for a second. What's the purpose of a straw then? To sip or drink liquids," Ino replied matter-of-factly. Naruto countered with a playful grin, "So, if you use it to consume soup, then you're drinking it, right?" Ino massaged her temples, a gesture of mild exasperation. "You eat soup, Naruto. Not drink it. Seriously, it's too early in the morning for this." She glanced towards Shino, wondering what his perspective would be. Naruto's face lit up with triumph as Shino voiced his agreement. "See, Shino gets it," he exclaimed, reveling in the unexpected alliance. Meanwhile, a visible vein throbbed on Ino's forehead, her disbelief tinged with frustration. "Did I hear that right? You're siding with him on this, Shino? Is your head messed up or something?" She wondered aloud, her incredulity palpable. Maintaining his calm demeanor, Shino calmly replied, "I think Naruto's logic checks out, Ino." Ino found herself at a loss for words, unable to fathom how both Naruto and Shino could stand united on this peculiar matter. Thankfully, their sensei arrived just in the nick of time, sparing her from descending further into madness. "Sorry I'm late. I had some things to attend to. You guys ready for our mission today?" Asuma's voice resonated, diverting their attention. Both Naruto and Shino nodded affirmatively, their readiness evident. Ino, on the other hand, teetered on the edge of composure, her mind still grappling with the soup conundrum. "What's wrong with her?" Asuma inquired, curious about the turmoil that seemed to be brewing within his female student. Naruto seized the opportunity to enlighten their sensei, blurting out, "I asked if you use a straw to consume soup, are you eating it or drinking it?" Shino and I both said drinking, since straws are used for drinking. Ino turned to Asuma, her eyes pleading for him to set the record straight. "Tell them they're wrong, Asuma-sensei," she implored, desperately seeking a voice of reason. Asuma pondered the question for a while, his gaze distant as he mulled over the enigmatic soup dilemma. After a few minutes of contemplation, he finally arrived at a verdict. Since straws are intended for drinking, and if you use one for soup, I suppose you are drinking it, no?" he declared, unwittingly further fueling Ino's fury. Ino's frustration reached its peak as she stormed off towards the Hokage Tower, determined to seek clarity from higher authorities. Asuma sighed, accustomed to Ino's occasional outbursts, while Naruto shrugged nonchalantly, indifferent to the chaos unfolding around him. Shino, as enigmatic as ever, remained silent throughout the entire exchange. Recognizing the need to address the situation, Naruto and Asuma exchanged glances, silently agreeing to follow Ino and catch up with her, hoping to find a resolution to the heated soup debate. At the Hokage Tower, Asuma's knuckles rapped against the door, the sound reverberating through the corridor, signaling their presence to the Hokage. After a brief wait, they were granted permission to enter, and the team stepped into the Hokage's office. Hokage-sama, what mission do you have for us today? Asuma inquired respectfully. I have another mission for your team, and before you protest, Naruto-kun, rest assured it is at least a C-rank mission, the Hokage assured, addressing Naruto's characteristic eagerness. Naruto nodded, suppressing any objections, his curiosity piqued by the forthcoming assignment. Originally, this mission was intended for another team. Unfortunately, they encountered some setbacks, prompting me to transfer it to your team, the Hokage explained. Asuma listened attentively, his focus undivided. I see, Hokage-sama. What's the mission about? He asked, eager to delve into the details. The Hokage's voice remained steady as he revealed the mission's simplicity. It's quite straightforward. Your task is to escort your client back to his farm near the border of Hai no Kuni, Land of Fire, specifically in the southeastern corner of Takigakure no Sato, village hidden by a waterfall. Once you arrive, you will act as guards, as the client has been experiencing the unfortunate disappearance of several of his cows in recent days, the Hokage explained concisely. Naruto, unable to contain his curiosity, interjected with a question. But why didn't he seek help from Takigakure, hidden waterfall village? Don't they have shinobi there too? And doesn't their village have a leader called the Takikage, waterfall shadow? The Hokage, fire shadow, acknowledged Naruto's inquiry, responding with a gentle correction. Your first statement is correct, Naruto. However, Takigakure, hidden waterfall village, does not have a cage, as you mentioned. It is considered a minor village, Shino interjected, showcasing his extensive knowledge of the village hierarchy. Impressed by Shino's understanding, the Hokage commended him. That is indeed correct, Shino-kun. Takigakure, hidden waterfall village, is one of the minor villages, much like Kusakagure no Sato, village hidden in the grass, Hoshigakure no Sato, village hidden among the stars, Yugakure no Sato, village hidden in hot water, and many others. These villages, though not large enough to be recognized as major villages, have their own distinct systems. They do not necessarily adhere to our traditional rules, which include having a cage, and reporting to a daimyo, the Hokage explained further. Naruto's expression shifted from confusion to comprehension. Oh, I get it now. Thanks, Hokage Jiji, he exclaimed, flashing his characteristic foxy grin, amusing the Hokage. Just as the conversation settled, the office door swung open, revealing a lady, presumably the Hokage's assistant, holding a bowl of steaming miso soup. Hokage-sama, here is your bowl of miso soup for breakfast. And beside it, the pastry you requested earlier, she said, her smile radiating warmth. The Hokage, fire shadow, thanked her graciously, reaching for the spoon to savor the nourishing meal. However, his eyes caught Ino's peculiar expression, and he paused, sensing something amiss. Concern etched across Hiruzen's face as he observed Ino's troubled expression. Sensing the urgency, Naruto recounted the earlier conversation, posing the same question to the Hokage. Hiruzen rubbed his chin thoughtfully, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon as he pondered the philosophical conundrum. I believe that the straw itself doesn't hold much significance, Naruto-kun. What truly matters is the presence of solids in the soup. If there are solids, you would be eating them and, simultaneously, drinking the liquid. Therefore, I'd argue that you are both eating and drinking the soup. It's quite amusing, Naruto-kun. I'll have to give it more thought, Hiruzen chuckled, appreciating the peculiar inquiry. With that matter settled, Hiruzen concluded the discussion. Anyway, that's all I have to say on the matter. You are all dismissed, he announced, signaling the end of their meeting. They bid their farewells and made their way out of the Hokage's office, leaving Hiruzen to contemplate the intriguing question and Ino to grapple with the mysteries of soup consumption. Konoha's gate. Impatience tugged at Naruto's nerves as he grumbled about their sensei's perpetual tardiness. While Asuma sensei was not as consistently late as Kakashi sensei, he had a knack for providing flimsy excuses when he did arrive behind schedule. Ino shared Naruto's frustration, her grumbles blending with his own, while Shino maintained his customary silence, concealing any thoughts or emotions towards their sensei. The duo's disgruntled murmurs ceased abruptly as Asuma finally made his appearance after 2 hours of exasperating wait. Where have you been, Asuma sensei? Ino demanded, her tone laced with annoyance, demanding a satisfactory explanation from the bearded Junin, high elite ninja. Asuma's sheepish demeanor betrayed his guilt as he stammered out an excuse. Hokage-sama. Wanted to, clear up some matters with me before leaving. That's it. His feeble explanation fell on skeptical ears, as both Ino and Naruto shot him piercing glares, unconvinced by his flimsy reasoning. Sighing in unison, the blondes chose to let the issue slide, eager to move forward. So, Asuma sensei, where's our client? Ino inquired, her impatience barely concealed. Oh, he'll be here. In the meantime, double-check your gear, make sure you haven't forgotten anything, Asuma advised, attempting to divert their attention. 10 minutes later. 10 minutes dragged on, the waiting weighing heavily upon them. Finally, a figure emerged in the distance, running towards their location, panting and heaving with exertion. As he reached their group, he mustered a breathless greeting. Sorry for the delay, I got sidetracked on my way here when I stumbled upon a flower shop. I couldn't resist buying some for my wife back home. Oh, where are my manners? I'm Kaneshiro Takeo and it's a pleasure to meet you all, he introduced himself, gasping between words. Nice meeting you, Kaneshiro-san. I'm Sarutobi Asuma, and these are my students, Aburame Shino, Yamanaka Ino, and Uzumaki Naruto. Asuma performed the introductions, receiving nods of acknowledgement from his students. Now that our client's here, let's go, Asuma declared, urging them to commence their mission. Outside Konoha, as they continued their brisk pace towards the farm, Asuma delved into the details of Kaneshiro's predicament. So, Kaneshiro-san, aside from the missing cows, is there anything else troubling happening at your farm? He inquired. Kaneshiro sighed, revealing the lack of security measures in place. You see, my farm doesn't actually have a fence. For years, I've let my cows graze freely, as none of them ever wandered too far. However, recently I've noticed a decrease in their numbers. I usually count them every few days to ensure none go missing. Though I guess it's partly my fault for being too complacent, he admitted, a hint of self-blame in his voice. Asuma acknowledged the explanation with a curt response, taking a puff from his cigarette as he mulled over the situation. Ino chimed in, suggesting potential culprits. Kaneshiro-san, do you have any idea who or what could have taken your cows? It could be bandits or predators lurking in the area, she offered, trying to contribute to the discussion. I do believe it might be bandits or poachers who frequent the vicinity. I'll make sure to take precautionary measures to prevent this from happening again, Kaneshiro assured them, determination seeping into his words. Well, whoever took your cows, I'll be sure to use my sweet moves on them, you'll see, Dadbeo. Naruto said, for he was unable to contain his enthusiasm. His proclamation elicited laughter from Asuma and Kaneshiro, while Ino rolled her eyes at his antics. Shino, true to his nature, remained unfazed and silent. Who are you again? I wasn't able to catch your name earlier. Takeo asked. Naruto gave him his iconic foxy grin and introduced himself in a grand manner. The name's Uzumaki Naruto, future Hokage of Konohagakure no Sato. I'll make it come true, you best believe it. Naruto declared proudly. Takeo and Asuma chuckled. Ino rolled her eyes and Shino, well, he's Shino so he didn't react or anything. That's a rather admirable dream you have, Uzumaki-san. I truly hope you make your dream come true, Takeo said in a sincere tone. In response, Naruto thanked him for his kind words. Curious about their client's aspirations, Naruto engaged Kaneshiro in conversation. What about you, Kaneshiro-san? Do you have any dreams or ambitions? He inquired, eager to learn more about the man. Kaneshiro's smile wavered briefly as he reminisced. Well, I used to dream of becoming a renowned ninja. But as I grew older, I realized the life of a shinobi wasn't for me. I didn't have the courage to pursue that path. Fortunately, I discovered something else I was passionate about, he replied, a note of contentment in his voice. The conversation continued as they walked, with Naruto and Kaneshiro exchanging stories and aspirations. The camaraderie between the team and their client began to blossom, setting the stage for their upcoming mission. And what is it? Ino asked curiously. Takeo smiled warmly. I'm passionate about my current profession, which is farming. It's a relaxing and rewarding way of life. My wife actually introduced me to the world of farming before we got married, and I can't imagine my life without her. That's why I was a bit late in meeting you all. I stopped by a flower shop to buy some flowers for her. I must admit, I know very little about flowers, but luckily a kind woman helped me choose the perfect ones for my beloved, he explained. Naruto chimed in, oh, you must have met Ino's mom at Yamanaka Flowers, her family owns it. Takeo appeared confused. I see. Yes, I did visit their store. You Yamanakas certainly have a deep understanding of botany. Ino couldn't help but feel proud of her family's expertise. It's in our blood, after all. Asuma interrupted their conversation, shifting the focus back to their journey. Sorry to break up the conversation, but how much longer before we reach your ranch, Kaneshiro-san? He asked. Takeo replied, revealing that they still had quite a distance to go. As the daylight began to fade, Asuma made a decision. It's getting dark. I suppose it's time to set up camp for now. Naruto, create clones and have them gather firewood. The rest of you, prepare the campsite. Consider this part of your training. Once you become Chunin middle journeyman ninja, you'll need to handle missions like this on your own. So, get to work. The three young shinobi nodded in understanding and swiftly started their tasks. Takeo observed their efficiency and couldn't help but be impressed. Sarutobi-san, I must say, your students are truly impressive. Though I'm not sure how much weight my opinion holds when it comes to all things shinobi, he complimented Asuma. Asuma exhaled a plume of smoke and responded, yeah, I'm really proud of them too. I've only been their teacher for a short time, but they've shown great potential. Tadao nodded in agreement, and the two adults engaged in conversation while the young shinobi diligently carried out their assigned tasks. After setting up camp in a forest outside of Konoha, the group continued their journey towards Takeo's ranch. The presence of their client had slowed down their progress, but they pressed on nonetheless. Hours passed, and they found themselves nearing their destination. The sun's rays filtered through the thick foliage, creating a cooler atmosphere as they walked. The sound of chirping birds and rustling leaves filled the air. We're almost there, it should be just up ahead, Takeo informed the group. They continued walking until they reached a large clearing in the heart of the forest. Takeo's ranch stood secluded, surrounded by trees on all sides. True to his word, there were no fences to be seen, and cows dotted the landscape. Welcome to my humble ranch. Let me introduce you to my wife, Takeo said, leading them towards a modest cabin situated by a river. Honey, I'm home. Oh, and I brought some guests with us, Takeo announced. Welcome home, dear. Please, come inside. I'm almost done preparing lunch. I'm sure all of you must be hungry from your travels, a woman's voice replied. You bet we're hungry. Datbeo, Naruto exclaimed, earning a reprimanding hit on the nape of his neck from Ino. Ow, what was that for, Ino? He protested, rubbing the back of his head. Where are your manners, Naruto? We're guests here, so show some respect, Ino scolded, rolling her eyes. Naruto fell silent, still nursing the slight pain. I want you all to meet my wife, Akemi, Takeo said, giving her a kiss and presenting her with the flowers he had bought. It's a pleasure to meet you, Akemi-san. Thank you for having us here, Asuma greeted politely, while his students offered their greetings as well. Nice to meet you, Akemi-san. Hello, Akemi-san. Hi, Akemi-san. Shino, Ino, and Naruto greeted Akemi respectively. Oh, the pleasure is mine. Please, come and have a seat. The food is almost ready, Akemi said warmly, gesturing for the group to sit at the dining table. She went back to the kitchen to finish preparing the meal, while Asuma and Takeo continued their conversation. You have a lovely place here, Kanashiro-san, Asuma complimented. Thank you, Sarutobi-san. We take great pride in it, my wife and I. It started as a small ranch, but with hard work and determination, we managed to make it grow. Takeo explained. You weren't kidding about the lack of fences. Asuma remarked. Haha, yes. And I'll be honest with you, Sarutobi-san. I didn't mention it in the job description, but I would greatly appreciate your team's help in setting up the fences. Though, I would understand if you're not able to help since it's not what you signed up for, but I'll make sure to compensate you for your efforts. So, what do you say? Takeo asked earnestly. Asuma understood Takeo's request and saw it as an opportunity for his students to work together and gain valuable experience. Sure, why not? So, when do we start? He inquired. After lunch, I'll gather the materials for the fence. And, let's say around 4 o'clock, so your students won't have to work under the scorching sun. Sound good? Takeo suggested. Yeah, we'll have that fence up and ready in no time, Asuma agreed, a hint of enthusiasm in his voice. Takeo smiled appreciatively. Just then, Akemi returned with a variety of delicious dishes she had prepared, knowing that they would have guests. She had gone the extra mile to create a feast for everyone. The group eagerly dug into the food, enjoying both the meal and the lively conversation that ensued. Outside Takeo-san's storage shed. Listen up, everyone. I know this wasn't part of the original mission, but I believe it's the right thing to do for a few reasons. First, helping Kanashiro-san out will allow us to complete this mission quickly. And yes, I know some of you are eager to go home. But here's the second thing, we'll be compensated for our efforts, so there's extra pay. And finally, this'll serve as a valuable team exercise for the three of you. Is that clear? Asuma addressed his students, seeking their agreement. They nodded in understanding, acknowledging Asuma's reasoning. All right then, let's wait for Kanashiro-san to bring the necessary materials for the fence, Asuma stated. Curiosity sparked within Naruto, prompting him to ask, Asuma sensei, are we allowed to use jutsus? Asuma considered for a moment before responding, I don't see any harm in it. But, if your jutsus end up causing more trouble than help, then no more jutsus. Understood. Without hesitation, Naruto accepted the terms and conditions set by his sensei. After some time, Takeo returned with a toolbox and opened the storage shed to reveal fence posts, wooden planks, and a bucket of nails. We've got everything we need to build this fence and I'm confident we can finish at least a quarter of it this afternoon. I suggest starting behind the cabin. What you guys can do is to attach the planks to the fence posts that I'll be putting into the ground, Takeo explained to the group, who understood their role. Asuma made a suggestion, saying, why don't you show them how to dig holes for the fence posts? That'll help us get started. Following Asuma's advice, Takeo took a shovel and demonstrated the proper technique. The group proceeded with their assigned tasks, creating a rhythm of digging holes, placing fence posts, and nailing wooden planks. There were occasional mishaps, with Naruto's clones accidentally hammering their thumbs and dispersing, but they persisted. The job took around 3 hours, and by 7 o'clock, they had completed a quarter of the fence. Great job, everyone. Y'all can go wash up and wait for Akemi to call you all for dinner, Takeo praised with a smile. But before they left, Asuma had something to say. After dinner, I'll take the first watch. You three can decide amongst yourselves who'll take the second watch. Might as well figure out the first and second watches for tomorrow too, Asuma instructed before leaving his students to make their decision. Ino took the lead and asked, "Alright then, how do you guys want to settle this?" Shino replied, "I'm open to any suggestions." Naruto, ever enthusiastic, chimed in, "I've got the perfect idea, Ino. We'll settle this with a game of Jenkin. Rock, paper, scissors, Dadbao." Ino gave Naruto a deadpan stare, expecting a more concrete plan or a strategic suggestion like the one they used to land a hit on Asuma earlier. "Jenkin? Really?" Ino sighed. Naruto raised an eyebrow and challenged, "What? You got a better idea?" Realizing she didn't have a better suggestion, Ino sighed again and reluctantly agreed. Naruto grinned, asking if his teammates were ready. "You guys ready?" he asked, and they nodded in response. "Jan Ken Pon." They all shouted in unison, starting the game. Shino, "Gu Rock." Ino, "Gu Rock." Naruto, "Gu Rock." "Crap, I should have gone. Pa, paper." Naruto exclaimed in frustration, realizing his choice of Gu Rock didn't work. Ino let out a sigh of relief that she didn't lose right away, while Shino remained his usual composed and silent self. "Jan Ken Pon." They chanted once again in unison, determined to settle the watch schedule through this game. Shino, "Pa, paper." Ino, "Choki, scissors." Naruto, "Choki, scissors." "I will take the second watch tonight since I have lost," Shino declared. "No worries, Shino. You'll get a break tomorrow." "So, Ino, are you ready to lose?" Naruto teased. "Oh, please, Naruto, there's no way I'm going to lose to you. I'm definitely gonna win this," Ino confidently responded. "Jan Ken Pon." Ino and Naruto exclaimed simultaneously, raising their hands to reveal their chosen signs. Ino, "Choki, scissors." Naruto, "Choki, scissors." Jan Ken Pon. Ino, "Pa, paper." Naruto, "Pa, paper." Jan Ken Pon. Ino, "Gu Rock." Naruto, "Gu Rock." "Damn it, Naruto. Stop copying me and just lose already." Ino yelled, frustrated. "I'm not copying you. If anything, you're the one copying me. Remember, you have mind-related jutsus. For all I know, maybe you're the one cheating." Naruto argued back, defending himself. "Naha, yaha, naha, yaha. Okay, enough. Let's just settle this once and for all," Ino said, determined to break the never-ending cycle of bickering between them. And for the very last time, they played rock, paper, scissors. "Jan Ken Pon." Ino and Naruto said simultaneously, eager to determine the winner and bring an end to their argument. Ino, "Gu Rock." Naruto, "Choki, scissors." "Damn it, I lost." Naruto exclaimed in frustration. "Ha, I beat you, Naruto. Looks like you'll be on first watch tomorrow," Ino taunted, sticking out her tongue. Yeah. You win. I honestly thought I had you there. I was going to psyche you into choosing Pa, paper," Naruto explained. "Better luck next time, Naruto," Ino said, sighing in a playful manner. "Kids, dinner's ready in 10 minutes. Akemi called out loudly from inside the cabin. Hearing this, they knew it was time to go back inside, wash up, and prepare for dinner. The next day, for the last time, "The plank isn't straight, Naruto." Ino yelled in frustration. "Oh, come on. How am I supposed to know it's not straight? I can't see the entire plank from here, and it's not like I'm not trying." Naruto argued, feeling exasperated. "Just raise the left side of the plank a tiny bit," Ino instructed, her patience wearing thin. Naruto followed her instructions. "No. The other left. No. My left," Ino exclaimed, growing more frustrated. "You weren't specific. This would be much easier if I had my clones." Naruto replied. "No kidding. Well, your clones just caused a mess earlier by scaring off some of Kanashiro-san's cows. Luckily, Asuma sensei was able to wrangle them in time. Also, You agreed to his conditions that if and when our jutsus cause more trouble than help, no more jutsus. So just do what I said. Ino groaned, recalling the incident. Naruto let out a sigh and adjusted the plank as Ino directed. But this time, he raised it a bit too much. Arg, you raised it too much. Ino yelled in frustration. You know what? Let's swap. I'll do the nailing and hammering, and you hold the plank. It seems you can do a much better job than I can, Naruto protested, annoyed. Ino didn't hesitate to switch places with Naruto. Is the plank straight now? He asked. Yeah, just nail the damn thing down. This is heavy. Ino groaned, feeling fatigued. Be patient, geez. I'll show you how a real pro nails down wooden planks, Naruto said confidently, preparing to hammer down the nail. He wanted to prove to Ino that he was skilled at this task by hammering the nail down in one hit. But instead of hitting the head of the nail, he missed and struck his thumb. Ah, screw this plank and hammer. Naruto yelled in pain, causing more bickering between them. Asuma and Takeo continued their tasks in the distance while overhearing the ongoing argument between Naruto and Ino. Takeo turned to Asuma and asked, "Are you sure they're going to be alright, Sarutobi-san?" Asuma chuckled and replied, "Oh, them. Yeah, they'll be fine. They're always like that." Takeo nodded, relieved by Asuma's assurance. We've made great progress with the fences. We've completed about 3/4 of the job. I can't express enough gratitude for your team's help. Asuma waved off the thanks. No worries, Kanashiro-san. It's all part of the job. Team 10, along with Asuma, had been working tirelessly since 7 o'clock in the morning. By noon, they had accomplished a significant portion of the fencing task. I think it's a good stopping point for now. Your students deserve a break and a chance to freshen up before we gather for lunch in the cabin, Takeo suggested. I'll take care of some other tasks. If you need anything, I'll be at the barn, or you can ask my wife for assistance. Asuma nodded gratefully as Takeo headed towards the barn, leaving Asuma alone with his thoughts. He contemplated the nearly finished fence and realized it was time to shift their focus to investigating the missing cows. Now that the fence is almost complete, we can finally start our investigation, Asuma thought to himself. Determined to address the matter, he called out to his team. Oi, Shino, Ino, Naruto. Team meeting, Asuma called, his voice echoing through the area. His students soon approached, curious about the sudden meeting. You called for us, Asuma-sensei? Ino asked. Since we're about 75% done with the fence, it's time to deal with the missing cows situation. I'll talk to Kanashiro-san later to see if we can scout the area and gather info. So, we'll form 2-man teams. Shino, you'll come with me. Your sensory abilities will be helpful. Ino and Naruto, you're together. And, Ino, keep an eye on Naruto for me, will ya? Asuma explained, to which Ino nodded in agreement. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Naruto protested. It's nothing, Naruto. Just a precaution. Now, any questions? Asuma asked. Naruto raised his hand. If we find something unusual, what should we do? Good question. Just create a clone and send it to me with any information you've got. As for the original Naruto, just stay with Ino in the area where you found the clue. If there are no more questions, go freshen up because lunch is almost ready, Asuma instructed. With the plan set, the team dispersed to wash up and prepare for lunch, eager to continue their mission and uncover the mystery surrounding the missing cows. After working on the fence, 4:30 p.m., found anything yet? Ino asked, hopeful for a breakthrough. Nope. What about you? Naruto replied, equally disappointed. Nothing. I'm starting to think it's just a predator that's been attacking the cows. What do you think, Naruto? Ino pondered. Maybe. But let's keep looking, Naruto responded, determined to find answers. As they continued their search, a foul odor permeated the air, catching Ino's attention. What in Kami's name is that smell? It smells awful. Naruto, did you step on crap? Naruto defended himself. If I did, you would have smelled it constantly earlier. Well, whatever that smell is. It's disgusting. Ino remarked, wrinkling her nose in disgust. Naruto seized the opportunity to tease Ino, since you can smell something, maybe you can put that nose to use. I've heard that pigs have a great sense of smell. Maybe that's why Sakura-chan calls you Ino Pig. Ino retorted sarcastically. Ha ha, very funny, Naruto. They chuckled briefly before refocusing on their investigation. However, as Naruto walked, he suddenly tripped on an object, causing him to curse in pain. Ah, damn it, what the heck did I trip on? Naruto exclaimed, rubbing his knee. He then noticed something on the ground that caught his attention. Ino, you might want to check this out. Naruto called out, his voice filled with a mix of surprise and concern. What is it? Did you find something? Ino hurried over to where Naruto was. If that's what I think it is. Then yes, Naruto replied, his eyes fixed on the discovery. Ino's shock mirrored Naruto's as they stood before the mangled corpse of a cow. It was torn apart beyond recognition, its body reduced to a horrifying sight. One of its legs protruded from a large bush, concealing most of the remains. Inside the bush, the innards and guts of the poor creature were strewn about. It was clear that something sinister was at play. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Naruto swiftly created a clone of himself and instructed it to fetch Asuma. They needed their sensei's expertise and guidance to handle this distressing discovery. Moments later. Why would bandits want to kill something they planned on stealing? Isn't it much better for them to take as many cows as they can? Shino voiced his thoughts. Before regrouping with Naruto and Ino, Shino and Asuma had come across a nearby campsite. The presence of a used campfire and scattered litter indicated that someone had been there. Asuma examined the corpse more closely and noticed that its leg was broken. In Asuma's mind, they must have left this one behind since it's slowing them down. With a broken leg, the cow wouldn't be able to keep up, making it an easy target. It could have been both, Asuma interjected. What do you mean by both, Asuma-sensei? Ino inquired. Look at its leg, or what used to be its leg. Notice anything odd? Asuma pointed out. It's broken, Ino observed. Exactly. To the bandits, a broken leg would slow them down and increase the risk of being caught. So, they made the smart decision to leave it behind. In the wild, a lone and injured prey becomes an easy target for predators, resulting in a mangled corpse like this, Asuma explained. Naruto chimed in, so, I guess we should be more concerned about the bandits than the predators, then. Especially since we're almost finished building the fence, right? Exactly. Asuma acknowledged with a nod. He was impressed by Naruto's reasoning. Since you'll be on guard duty tonight, I suggest you create clones and scatter them throughout the ranch. We'll also discuss with Kanashiro-san if he's willing to use some cows as bait, placing them strategically but not too far from the ranch. Let's see if the bandits take the bait. Naruto nodded eagerly, fully on board with the plan. The second floor of Takeo's barn. 9:30 p.m. Naruto stood in his chosen spot, a wide expanse of open space that offered him a commanding view. The scent of manure wafted through the air, mingling with the crisp night breeze. Ino, always quick with her teasing, couldn't resist making a comment about the less than pleasant odor. Nice spot you got here, Naruto, Ino playfully jested. Open space, and it also smells like crap here. Good choice. Naruto couldn't help but roll his eyes, accustomed to Ino's banter. He explained, very funny, Ino. Asuma-sensei told me to stand guard here. He said it's a good vantage point, since I can have a clear eye on the cows just outside. Laugh all you want now, but later, it'll be your turn here. Ino continued her teasing, adding, that's alright. By then, all the bad odors will stick to you. Naruto playfully stuck out his tongue in response. Relax, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day, Naruto. Just wake me up when it's my turn. Good night, Ino said, heading down to the first floor of the barn, leaving Naruto alone with the cows and their abundant piles of manure. All right then, good night, Ino, he replied, watching as she nodded and disappeared from sight. Naruto settled in, his senses now attuned to the sounds of the night and the earthy scent that permeated the air. The task at hand may not have been glamorous, but he understood the importance of his duty, even in the midst of a less than ideal location. Near the ranch unknown location, 1:45 p.m. The moon cast its pale glow over the ranch, and in the darkness, two figures huddled together, discussing their precarious situation. The elder brother scanned their surroundings, sensing the owner's heightened awareness. Looks like the owner is onto us, brother, he whispered, his voice filled with a mix of annoyance and concern. His younger sibling nodded, glancing at the new fence that encircled the ranch. Yeah, no shit. I can definitely see the new fence, moron. They're stepping up security. A momentary silence hung in the air as they contemplated their next move. What do we do then? The younger brother asked, his voice laced with urgency. The elder brother's gaze hardened, determination shining in his eyes. Same thing we always do, he replied with a steely resolve. We take the cows quietly. But this will probably be the last time we can steal from this ranch without any issues. A brief pause followed, broken only by the rustling of leaves in the breeze. Should we wait for him? The younger one inquired, a hint of uncertainty in his voice. The elder brother let out a sigh, his frustration evident. Obviously, you idiot. You know how that is, he said, bitterness seeping into his words. Always a stick in the mud and a stickler to his rules. His younger brother's eyes widened in caution. Shish. What if he hears you? He whispered, casting a wary glance around them. Ah, him, the elder brother spat, dismissing the concern. I don't care about that bastard. All I want is to make money. Now, shut your yap and go get him, he commanded, his tone leaving no room for argument. The younger brother nodded, acknowledging his orders, and silently slipped away into the night, their risky venture hanging in the balance. The elder brother remained, his thoughts consumed by the impending risks they faced, while the moonlit ranch whispered tales of uncertainty and desperation.